Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erica. Welcome if you are new to my channel. I recently had this idea for videos to make. I'm sure there's other people who make these videos. I want to make a series of I've read every book from blank author, so you don't have to. The authors that come to mind that I've read a lot of books of are Taylor Jenkins Reid and Colleen Hoover, but I have not read all of their books. But I have read all of Sally Rooney's novels, and she only has 3. She does have like a short story or something, some other published stuff, but these are her only novels. Sally Rooney has been super popular, especially on TikTok and Book Talk. Her book, Normal People, that one is super hyped online. Also, Conversations with Friends is pretty popular as well. They were both adapted to be TV series. I've watched both of them, they're pretty good. And then her third book is Beautiful World, Where Are You? And that's her latest book. And basically I'm going to review all 3 of those books and tell you guys whether you should read them or not. I think I read Normal People last summer, so like 10 months ago, then Conversations with Friends. I think I read a few months after that, and then Beautiful World, Where Are You? I read about 2 months ago. So they're not all fresh in my mind, but I did jot down notes of things that I want to talk about. To start off, just a little bit of background. Sally Rooney is an Irish author, and she identifies as a Marxist, which I didn't really know what a Marxist was. So I did look it up a little bit, and I still don't fully know. But it seems like it's a very extreme liberal ideology. It really influences her writing. We're gonna start off with her first book, which is Conversations with Friends. I read this book second. I would rate it number 2 of her books. I really feel like because I read Normal People first, I still think I would have thought Conversations with Friends was not as good, but Conversations with Friends felt like a trial run to Normal People. I feel like Conversations with Friends walked so Normal People could run. A quick little plot summary, it's basically following 2 friends who are kind of like past romantic partners, and the 2 friends, they're like in college during the time. To put it simply, they're like the artsy type. They become friends with a couple who's like a little bit higher up in social status. The husband is an actor, like a play actor. His wife is an author. Both of the friends fall in love with the couple. They have an affair. It's kind of a weird book. All of her books are kind of weird. They leave you feeling kind of uncomfortable as you read them, but I think that that's the point. There's a lot of really clumsy social interactions. I did feel like I did not particularly like a single character in this book. 2 of them were like okay, and then everyone else I kind of didn't really like, but you do see a lot of flaws in all of the characters. Normally I feel like if I'm not invested in a character, it's really hard for me to enjoy the book or feel connected. In some ways, I can appreciate that she didn't make characters extremely likable, because her style of writing and her style of books are very much showing like the true human form and mindset and thoughts and ideas. Her books very much have this like stream of consciousness feeling, and you get to kind of see inside the minds of her characters. Everyone is flawed, so in some ways it makes the book more real. I probably would not have liked it nearly as much if I hadn't read Normal People first. I think I just really enjoyed Normal People, and so I kind of had a liking for Sally Rooney, and when I read Conversations with Friends, I didn't want to dislike the book. So then Normal People is her second book, and it is her first book that I read. I really liked Normal People. It is one of those books that I think about still to this day, and I feel like I don't even have a great explanation as to why. There's not this like great meaning or lesson that you learn from this book, but I feel like I could relate to the main characters. That made me like the book, because Sally Rooney very much gives an insight into the characters' minds and their thoughts and impulses. It only makes them more relatable, and there were thoughts in that book that she wrote about I have in my head, or people have in their heads, that you never even think about other people experiencing those same things. And so when you read a book like that, it's just nice to feel seen. This book is a little bit more of a coming of age book, because it follows a boy and a girl who are from the same town, and they start off in high school, and it follows them through the end of college. The main thing that moves the plot of this book is that the characters communicate so poorly that the book is so painful to get through. Not in a bad way, that makes it sound bad. And so much during this book you want to shake the characters and just be like, say what you're thinking, say what you're feeling. But again, Sally Rooney writes a very real people, and they don't. The kind of misunderstandings between the 2 main characters, basically that's what makes the book what the book is. I'll read the review that I left for Normal People on Goodreads. Only gave this 4 stars because I wanted to end a bit more finished feeling, but I think that's the whole point of the book. Immediately, I felt everything so deeply because the interactions emulated real life, confusing relationships so accurately. It's a torturous book to read, honestly, but there's a lot of reality in it. And then I edited. Like a day later, I said, okay, I wrote that review last night and now I'm giving it 5 stars because I can't stop thinking about this book, which for me is a sign of a good book. After reading others' reviews of this book, I find it interesting how polarizing this book is. I personally thought this book was so raw and real and relatable, and I'm wondering if that's why so many people hate it, or maybe it's not relatable to some. Or it is so relatable that they can't admit it. I don't know. This book has me majorly overthinking. I feel like that encompasses the way I felt after I read this book. And now her last book, Beautiful World, Where Are You? By far her worst book. I did not like it. I think I still gave her 3 stars because I like her as a writer. The whole book is like written very well, but it is boring. It was really, really hard to get through. This book again follows 2 good friends, but they're living on opposite sides of Ireland. They basically write emails to each other. So through their emails, you really get a deep look into what the characters are thinking. And then both of them are dating people, and there's a lot of, again, awkward relationships and just like clumsy interactions, and it's very much like the other 2 books. There is so little plot, I can't even tell you what happened. I also feel like that her characters are just like copies of the last books, but now for like a 3rd time around, it was getting a little old. I don't really recommend this one unless you enjoy her other 2 books, and I would say might as well give it a try, but I don't think, well, I'm sure there's some people who think that's her best book, but I have not met any of them who think that. So my final thoughts on Sally Rooney and her 3 books. I am more liberal myself, and I feel like her books are definitely geared towards people who are more left-leaning because her political views really shine through in her books. So I feel like if you did not agree on anything politically with her, it would probably be really annoying to read her book. Her books are also a bit pretentious. I don't know if she means for the main characters to come off this way. She very much uses her books as like a platform to talk about her political ideas, and sometimes the characters can get a little preachy and it feels like you're reading a political agenda. But I really enjoyed reading the points in her book because I think that they're really interesting. So if you somewhat agree and you want to learn more about that type of stuff, I thought it was very good in that sense. I think that the best aspects of her books are that they accurately portray human relationships that are just awkward, and how much communication just hinders relationships a lot of times, how frustrating it is because almost nobody says exactly what they think and what they feel. In some ways, a lot of the criticism that I had for the books, I'm not sure if maybe she actually put on purpose, like with Beautiful World, Where Are You? There is a minimal plot in that book. Not a lot happens. But then I was thinking maybe that's kind of the point of her book. She wants to represent the human experience and just true human life. And in most people's lives, not a lot happens in your day-to-day. It can be mundane, but there's a lot of complex emotions that you go through every single day, and that's kind of what she focuses on. Does her lack of plot make for an interesting book? Not really. But does it create poignant social commentary? Possibly. I am no literary expert. Lastly, if you like depressed characters, complex social commentary, and complicated relationships, then I think you will like her books. If you do not like any of those things, don't read her books. You will hate them. And also if you like quotation marks in books. There are no quotation marks. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm excited to do more in this series. I gotta get to reading. I have 2 more of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books to read. And Colleen Hoover, I don't know, she actually has a lot of books, and I've read I think 11 or 12 of them, and I think there's probably upwards of 20 books that she has, so that one will take a while for me to make. I'm excited to make more of these, and let me know if you guys like them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.